From Wana Brands, welcome to Enhance Your Life. I'm your host, Jonathan Small, and each week I talk to people from all sorts of professions and backgrounds about how cannabis has enhanced their lives and how this healing plant can enrich your life too. Hey everybody, welcome to the Enhance Your Life podcast. My name is John Small and I am your host. And my guest today is Al Morentin. And he is the founder and owner of MyFitLife, which is a premier holistic health and wellness company. Al has quite a story to share. After going blind due to glaucoma, he got his vision back with the help of cannabis oils. And he founded a CBD manufacturing company as a result of this. He has also used CBD to put a stop to his crushing migraine headaches. And Al has dedicated his life to spreading the good word about alternative and holistic therapies, and will continue to do so with many of the therapeutic benefits of cannabis and CBD. Al, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, Jonathan.
So let's talk a little bit about this story. So sorry to hear about the glaucoma, but tell me what happened. Can you take us back to that time?
Yeah, sort of the quick version is, when I was in sixth grade, I went to the optometrist and for the first time, and he told me I had the markers for glaucoma and I would most likely go blind one day because there is no cure. And then fast forward to 30 years old, it's 1996. My optometrist tells me your glaucoma is active and you're starting to lose vision and you will most likely go blind one day because there is no cure. And I went on this path. I'm a holistic health practitioner. I help people overcome and manage conditions. And I went on a path to try to figure out how to save my eyesight. And about 17 years later, I started losing my vision really bad. And that's when I discovered what worked.
Yeah. So let's stick here for a minute. Even to hear that at the age of, in your sixth grade, I mean, you're 12 years old. I only know that because my daughter's in sixth grade. So you're 12 years old and you get this news. It must have been pretty devastating for you.
There wasn't internet back then. It was the 70s, so they didn't really, my parents didn't make a big deal out of it. So I didn't make a big deal out of it,
Right. But later, did you always kind of wonder, what's glaucoma and this thing that might be coming for me?
Yeah, they said they don't know, when it comes, if it comes, and all this kind of stuff. So I was just hoping that nothing would ever happen.
Yeah. Well, what is glaucoma for those of us who don't really know? I mean, I know that it affects your vision, but can you explain to us what it is? It
basically, there's two types. One has pain and one doesn't. I have the one with the pain, with the migraines. But basically what it does is they call it a silent thief of sight, because most of the people that have it don't have the pain, and you lose your peripheral vision, and it goes down into a tunnel vision, and then you eventually go blind.
Jeez.
And then you could also, there's little spots and little haziness and fog, and that could happen, and a bunch of different things. I've gone through all of them because I've gone actually completely blind in my right eye, and then gotten my vision back with it, which you're not supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, could you explain what the symptoms were when it started to actually happen? And how old were you when this all started happening?
I was 30 years old when they told me that it was active, and they do those tests with the little dots at the optometrist where they test your visual field.
Yeah.
To see if you have your peripheral vision, up, down, and all around, and the straight on vision too. Because there's ones that take your straight on vision. That's macular degeneration. But yeah, so around 30 years old, I was losing my field of vision in those eye tests, and that's how they know. They can also tell by some markers when they look inside too. Somehow, I don't know how that is, but I had the migraines, most of my life that are just associated with glaucoma. So that's not a sign. So there is no. Other than actually losing your sight, there is no symptom that you're aware of. That's why they call it the silent thief of sight.
What a scary name, the silent thief of sight. And does it take a long time for it to get to a point where then you suddenly can't see?
Yeah, it slowly happens at first. And then at least with me, it just went into a rapid style kind of a thing. And today, if I stop taking my oils, then my vision starts to break apart in less than 24 hours. And I go completely blind in less than a week.
That is incredible. All right. So once you start having the symptoms, you mentioned at this point of your life, you're already a holistic practitioner.
Yes.
Tell us what that means.
A holistic practitioner, we just help people to overcome and manage conditions, get healthy naturally without the use of pharmaceuticals or harmful medications.
Right.
So we go to the root cause of the problem instead of treating symptoms.
So you were already kind of had a natural inclination to treat this with natural medicines.
Yeah, I've tried every single thing, not just cannabis. I've tried every single thing under the sun. I have tens of thousands of clients that I've helped overcome and manage a variety of conditions. And it was like a cruel joke. I couldn't help myself, but I could help all these other people. Right.
Yeah. And so when you tried, how did you first start to treat it with cannabis? It was specifically with CBD oil?
At first, it was with high THC oil. The CBD wasn't really popular or available at that when I first started and doing it. And the first person to ever get the okay from the federal government to smoke marijuana was in 1977. He was a PhD professor at a college, and he noticed that when he smoked marijuana outside of his friend's house, these little halos that happen when you look at lights, there's like little halos that could happen when you have glaucoma. That's a sign that you have it. And he noticed that they went away when he smoked marijuana. So he, went to the federal government and, got the license, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. So I knew that there was something with cannabis and marijuana, and then you look at all the case studies of people that have overcome cancer and all these different ailments online, all these stories you hear about. And it came back to this one extraction process. Nobody had it for glaucoma. I couldn't find anything, but I tried that and it sort of worked. And then I just played around with that and I came up with a formulation that worked for me.
And what was that formulation? Sort of more higher in CBD?
It's basically a specific extraction process with a specific solvent. It's a gentle extraction that takes out all the components, not just the cannabinoids. Because I can't just take cannabinoids and save my sight. I need the whole of the plant. I need
the
all
entourage.
the nutrients in there.
Yeah.
So I've tried just doing like CBD and THC, to myself, and I'll lose my sight along the way. I have to have this specific. It's called a full extract cannabis oil, FICO or RSO, Rick Simpson oil. And there's an art to making that, and most people make it wrong. And the people that do make it, it's like a little cult following, sort of, and it's really small operators that they'll make a little bit and they run out and they make, so it's not to scale, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody has it to scale. So when I first started, I had a couple guys extracting for me, and they did it fine, and I was like, cool, and then they lost their soul and started cutting corners a little bit, and I started losing my sight while taking the oils, but it looked the same. It reacted the same, as
they
far
changed it. Yeah, they changed things. Wow.
But the components weren't in there, so I was losing my sight and taking oil. I thought it wasn't going to work anymore, and then I found out what was going on. So I took it in-house. I started the company, and it's a specific extraction process. And then there's a specific protocol that goes along with it, but there's a specific growing process, all this kind of stuff. So I have complete oversight from soil to oil, and we make it to scale. We have thousands of acres that we have available to us. So someone like me, I can't wait. Like if somebody runs out of their batch, I can't wait because my vision breaks apart in one day and I go blind in a week.
That's amazing.
So,
well, that's incredible.
I have a good supply.
Yeah, you don't ever want to run out of that. Did you see the results immediately when you tried it the first time?
No, it takes a little bit. So that's the thing. So I'm in a way like the migraines I have are skull crushing, and if I don't take my oils, I go into them every day now. If I miss my oils for 3 days, I go into crushing migraines every day, which isn't fun. But back then, I was like about 10 times a month of migraines, and I had headaches almost every day. And the first time I took the oil, I woke up and I didn't have a headache.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, like I had had it my whole life. And I was like, if I could just not have headaches or just not have them quite as often, then I'll continue to take this. And that's what I did. And then that's when after some time of taking it, that's when I started to see the results.
Incredible. Does it make you feel a little high, or is it just relieving the symptoms?
The first oil that I took was high THC, and it does make you feel high, right? And that's the problem with it, like the cancer patients and all the different people that take it for different variety of reasons. They don't like to take it because you're high all day. You can't take it all day. You can only take it at night.
Yeah.
So that's why it took me 2 years after figuring out the formulation to create a high CBD version that doesn't get you high. And that's why our stuff is so valuable.
Yeah, and it still works. That's amazing.
Yeah, it actually for glaucoma, it actually works better
than for other ailments.
No, the high CBD actually works better than the high THC for glaucoma.
Yeah. So you now sell this CBD, this special blended CBD cannabis oil that you've created. Do you have many patients that suffer from the similar things that you suffer from?
There's about 17 people that have glaucoma specifically that I work with, and they're all having varying degrees of success. And then I work with a bunch of other people with everything you could think of. The main thing that people come to me for is like pain, recovery from injury, or just like chronic pain, arthritis, all those different kinds of things, neuropathies. And then anxiety, stress, depression, that crushing stuff, and clarity, confidence, and things like that.
Do you find that it helps for other conditions other than just glaucoma, or do you have to kind of change your formulation given what different things that people are suffering from?
No, it's a protocol of how to take it basically. And there's milligram strengths and, like the quantity of milligrams per day that you take. And then there's the delivery system, whether it's a capsule, a tincture, or a topical, depending on what the person has going on.
What do you take? What do you take?
I take it orally. It's not drops for my eyes. It's taken orally. That's one of the big things too. Is all the doctors and scientists are trying to put stuff in your eye to clear your eyes, and I do it I'm taking things through my mouth.
When you say orally, but through capsules and tinctures, or just tinctures?
Capsules and tinctures.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mostly capsules.
Why do you think it's better to do it that way than to put something in your eyes, like directly?
Because that's what works.
Yeah, right.
Mainly, because that's what I go by, is what actually works.
Right.
And then you figure out why and all this stuff afterwards. The big reasons why and stuff like that, they aren't as important as doing things that actually work. And trying to prove, like, if there's a bunch of anecdotal evidence that something is working, then you do that, and you could do clinical studies and do all these things to try to figure out why. But I've always seen that being in powerlifting and bodybuilding and fitness and health my whole life, we figure out stuff, and then 20, 30 years later, it's validated by the scientists.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, I might ask you another why question. This will be my last why question. Do we know what the science is behind why it helps people with glaucoma? I mean, is it that it's an anti-inflammatory? I mean, is there any? I mean, I'm sure there's science, and I could look it up, but what's your understanding?
Yeah, you won't be able to look up anything really, because there is no answers out there from anybody. Everybody's just guessing. Like I am like a excellent researcher. So you learn how to do that when you're in like chiropractic school and all these different things. Like you learn how to be a really good researcher. And I'm great at sourcing. I'm great at researching, and there is nothing out there. But the reason that the cannabinoids work in people, okay, and not just with glaucoma, but with everything else, is because you have an endocannabinoid system inside of you that needs to be fed with cannabinoids in order for you to operate at the utmost optimal levels.
Yeah.
Your endocannabinoid system is responsible for homeostasis. Homeostasis is like the golden child of the science and medical community. Like, you cannot achieve it, they say, right? But you can achieve it by feeding your system with cannabinoids. Like your endocannabinoid system is fed with cannabinoids. It provides homeostasis or balance to your body. So it works in congruence with all the other systems in your body to balance them out. And that's why it helps so many different things.
Yeah.
Is because of that.
Have you noticed any side effects in any of your patients from doing this oil?
No, I haven't seen, like, in all the years of me working with cannabis, which is since 1987, I have not seen any adverse effects. And I've been working with CBD since 2013. I haven't seen any adverse effects with medications, like contraindications or anything like that. And I like to say that it doesn't have side effects, it has side benefits.
That's good. What state do you work out of?
Arizona.
So it's in Arizona, it's medically legal, or is it both medical and recreational?
So the cool thing about our CBD is it's legal all across the nation.
Oh, wow.
That's why I created this formulation. The other formulations, the high THC, they're state by state. You have to have a license for each state.
Right.
But the high CBD version, it has the less than 0.3% THC. It has the full cannabinoid profile. But we've created plants that are basically cannabis plants with the THC bred out enough to where they can legally be called hemp. So it could be sold all across the nation, and that's what's so beautiful about it.
So you can travel. So somebody like you can now travel outside of a legal state and still have your CBD and be able to take it, since it's so important to the way you live your life. The way you function throughout the day. That's great.
Yeah, we have people in Texas, Virginia, North Carolina, South Dakota, all taking our stuff,
Yeah. How about when you have to leave the country? I always wonder, like, when somebody, I guess you could take it as a tablet form, right? Nobody's going to question you.
People take it out of the country all the time.
Right.
Going to Europe is no problem. Like literally putting it on the little conveyor belt and going through, I can, all that, you let them know it's there. Going into Europe, going into Thailand, going into Australia,
no
going
problem.
into New Zealand. Yeah, all no problem. Even Thailand.
Huh. That's amazing. Because I know, you could, did they just not ask you about it?
No, my friend, she's a film producer, and she went to Thailand to film. And she brought CBD for the whole crew, and she showed it to them, and they let her go through.
That's great. Now, you mentioned that you had 17 of your own patients were on this, but the CBD, your product, MyFitLife, is available to anyone, right?
Yeah, we have MyFitLife.net.
Okay.
And the full extract oil on the website is, we call it a full spectrum oil just because that's a familiar term, but it's different than other full spectrum oils. The nickname for it is FICO, full extract cannabis oil. It's an ethanol extraction. It's a food grade ethanol, so it's not harmful. The solvent, so if you drink it, you get drunk. That's all that happens to you. Every other solvent out there, if you were to drink it, you'd die. So, and then our solvent is a bipolar. Or it has dual polarity, not bipolar. Yeah. It has dual polarity, so it has both polar and non-polar constituents that it pulls from the plant, which means both fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins and nutrients. And every other solvent is either polar or non-polar, not both. So that's one of the reasons why the ethanol extraction is so vital to what we do. And we let people know how to do it too. It's just that it's an art form, and people do not do it right.
So how do you do that? How do you let people know how to use it?
Just by explaining it, like I just explained to you.
Right. Is it? But when people buy it, can they read about it online? How to use it correctly and.
How to use it? I was talking about how to make it.
I see.
For other manufacturers,
I understand. Sorry, misunderstood.
But yeah, other manufacturers. Well, people 90% of the companies out there for CBD that they white label, they buy from somebody else that makes it for them. We actually, I develop the formulations and we manufacture in house. That's our hugest difference.
Yeah.
But everybody else is going for throughput and the amount that they could make. And at scale and the cost savings. Like our oils, we pay we pay like 10 times the amount of money for our oils. It's all done on lab grade equipment, not commercial equipment. So it has more care done to it, and the extractions are they're artisan, like they're a small batch. So there's much more care and single strain. There's not a conglomeration of hemp plants put in there. It's all single strain, and all that stuff matters, right?
Right. What drove you to holistic medicine in the first place?
My mom, basically, I've always been drawn to health and wellness, but that's because I was born in 1965 and my mom worked out at the gym, which was not common, right?
Yeah.
And she worked out at Jack LaLanne and Vic Tanny. And when I was born, there was no daycare kind of stuff, and especially at the gym, there wasn't. So she literally took me when I was just months old to the gym, and I would crawl around on the floor. The girls behind the counter, they literally taught me how to walk.
Wow.
I learned how to walk inside of a gym. So I've just been around that my whole life. And my mom always she'd go to Nature Way to get the little avocado and cucumber with sprout sandwiches. And,
I remember those Tiger's Malt bars and carob and all that stuff back in the 70s.
Yeah. So I always thought that was neat. So I just got attracted to it. And then I was sort of meatheadish, through the 90s. I'm a power lifter, competitive power lifter.
Oh, wow.
I've won nationals and stuff. But in 2001, I did this cleansing and detoxification program with this naturopath and MD and about 100 other people in Santa Monica, California. And it was this 21-day experience, and it changed my life. And they sort of put me on this path. I worked with them for several years after that. And they opened my eyes to the things that are going on behind the scenes and all these different, how certain organizations don't have your best interest looked out for, and you sort of have to do it yourself as far as the food and supplements that you're taking, the quality, and everything.
Right.
And it just set me off on this journey, on this path to discover, what the truth is in health and wellness.
So you obviously, cannabis and CBD are not your only natural medicine of choice. Do you think that it would be wise to sort of understand how to combine the different plant medicines?
Yeah, definitely. There's I've been, working with a variety of things my whole life. And I actually have a lifestyle optimization kit. There's, 5 different supplements or superfood kind of supplements inside of there, where this cannabinoid CBD or THC is one of them, then there's MSM, spirulina, shilajit, things like that are in there, that have nutrition inside of them that is greatly missing basically in our modern world. And it could help people to get towards vibrant health and, get healthy and stay healthy and basically live the life they were meant to live if they just change around and start taking these supplements.
And should they experiment, or should they go to a holistic practitioner to sort of get them on a regime?
If there's a holistic practitioner that actually has success and, and has a track record of success, then it's better to go to that person because it just speeds up the process.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to figure things out, they'll actually put you on a protocol and then adjust the protocol as needed, Yeah. And that's one of the things like with my company, the CBD and stuff, it works so awesome. It's like a missing link to vibrant health and mental clarity. But we believe in it so much, and we want you to take it, for the long haul, because that's what you need to do, right? It's an essential nutrient that you need on a daily basis, right?
Right.
So we offer free consultations to all of our clients that purchase our CBD, and not just an initial consultation to figure out which product to get, but follow-up consultations, and we create like a folder for you. And, with your, you go through a health history with your condition and give you an initial protocol and adjust that down the road, so you could overcome the condition and then go into a maintenance phase.
Right.
And that's why we have so much success, is because I actually know how to do that. And other CBD company owners are just guys that mean well,
Right.
but they, and they know how to make money.
So tell me, if people want to find out more about MyFitLife, what should they do?
Go to myfitlife.net. There's a plethora of information on there, a ton of videos on there, with, all kinds of information, questions that people ask about CBD. Does it get you high? Is it addictive? All these different things, how to take it. I have recommended protocols in videos, so people could, if they're shy, they could do it themselves. But if they have questions, the ability to reach out and schedule consultations, everything is online on there.
Al, this has been really fascinating. I'm so happy that you found relief from the symptoms of glaucoma and other things, and it's been a wonderful conversation. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Enhance Your Life is brought to you by Wana, the #1 infused product in North America. Wana's entire process is designed to deliver the same great experience time after time. They have spent years fine-tuning their recipes so that their products are delicious, consistent, and potent. For more information, head on over to wanabrands.com. That's Wana, WANA, brands.com.